Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost. Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2021. The album, Dad. I'm sitting kind of side saddle. And rock on. Hey little thing, let me light your candle, cause I went to a party last Saturday night. I didn't get laid and I got in a fight. Doesn't even sound like the song. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel, hey little thing, let me light your candle, cause I'm so hard to handle now. Yes, I am. Boost! The Mega Mix. Yo, Janet, I'm about to get this. You want this, but do you really think that you can get this? At first you dissed this. Now you want to kiss this? Tell them, girls! Too late. You missed this. You're late to drama class. Are you late to drama class? You're like, Peter has a colorful shirt on. I know. I bought all these colorful shirts to go to Florida, and so I thought, well, I'm going to start wearing them in my videos, because yesterday I wore the striped shirt. I had this friend of mine in high school. She used to always call things striped. I kind of love that. Now I'm going to start calling things striped. But anyway, so everybody was so nice about my shirt I had on in my video yesterday. Today people will be like, oh, Peter, that shirt you have on today is horrible. Don't ever wear that again today. Or wear that again. But I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to wear something that makes me feel happy. It is almost 70 degrees outside Indianapolis. It's beautiful. Tonight is my home group meeting that I get to go hang out with all of my good Judies in recovery. And I'm so excited. I always love Tuesday nights because of that. I go pick up my good Judy, and then we hang out with some friends afterwards, and it's just such a great evening. And, you know, I just want to say this before I get into this video, because I haven't said this for a while. You know, those of us in sobriety are not a glum lot, and we have a lot of fun. And I think it's important to, you know, show that. And that is one of the reasons why I talk so, I just got off the phone with my dad about 20 minutes ago, and, you know, we were talking about, he was like, now, he goes, you've been sober 26 years, right? And I said, yeah. And he was like, wow, you know? And it's so funny that how my life has changed in the last 26 years, and the opportunities that I've had and the doors that have opened for me that I would never have had I not gotten sober. And at the time that I got sober, you know, I really just looked at it as, well, first of all, I didn't want to be sober when I first got sober, okay? There was not a, so when people say you have to have this full desire to get sober, I'm not a believer in that, okay? I'm a believer that we can plant the seed, and when somebody is ready, they will, you know, the seed will grow into what it is. And, you know, I just did what I was told because I was scared to death of dying at the beginning. And over time, I decided, you know, hey, I kind of like this life, you know, and people aren't constantly telling me what I did the night before, and not ended up in hospital beds or being arrested, and my family's not upset with me, and I have peace of mind today. And then I started having friends and in recovery, and I met a great group of people of which I've been friends with for a very long time, and I have a life beyond my wildest dreams today, and that is all due to my sobriety. And so for those of you that are sober out there, please drop your sobriety dates or how long you've been sober in the comment section below. I love doing that. It makes me so happy to read through there and see all the sober people. And if you are not sober and you are thinking about it and you want it, we're here for you. It's out there. You can have what we have as well. I know it's super, super scary before you take that first step, and it's just one step, you know? You just take, my old sponsor used to say to me, you know how to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so, you know, you don't have to think about, oh, well, how am I going to get to be 26 years sober? You think about, how am I going to get to be one day sober? And then another day, and then another day. And one day you wake up and you're like, oh, wow, I've been sober for a while. And it's a magical life. So anyway, I just wanted to say that because I hadn't said that on here for a while. So anyway, all right, before I get into today's video, boost! I want to give 2 birthday shout-outs. The first one I want to give is to Sammy. Sammy said, good morning. Now, I think some people don't know this is a joke, okay? I sign on to Twitter at about 4:35, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I always say good morning, right? And people think that I'm like just like rolling out of bed. That's when I finally decide to get on Twitter for the day, okay? And so I just say good morning because I think it's so hilarious, you know, that people think that I'm getting up at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Not that I haven't, okay? Not that I haven't, you know? But I think it cracks me up that people are like, Peter, it's 5:30, you're just getting up. No, I've been up for a while, okay? A half an hour, maybe. But anyway, Sammy said, good morning. My birthday is the 17th. Now, I know I'm not going to remember this, so I got to shout it out today, okay? And she said, I'm turning 26, and I would love a birthday shout out. She said, my kids and I love listening to you in the mornings when we have breakfast. So I have to say that I have a good Judy of mine, and her daughter calls breakfast. She's one of my good sober friends. And her daughter calls breakfast. And so I always, whenever I see her, I'm always like, girl, I want some breakfast. And we just get laughing. So anyway, so here's Sammy. Here's to you and your... Sammy, right? Yeah, Sammy. Sammy, here's to you and your kids eating breakfast, okay? And happy birthday. I hope you have the most magical birthday in the world. And the other person I wanted to shout out for their birthday is Alex. And Alex's birthday was yesterday, but she missed it. And she said, when I realized on my birthday that I forgot to try to see if Peter Monn would wish me a happy birthday since it's my dirty 30. Darn, hope you and your husband are doing amazing this happy Monday. So Alex, happy belated birthday. I hope you had the best 30th birthday ever. I still remember turning 30 because I can remember when I turned 30, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in my 30s now, you know? And then I turned 30 and it really wasn't that big of a deal. Then I turned 31, and if you're my age, you'll remember that there was a show when we were growing up, and it was called 30-something. Yesterday, so many people commented about how fast I was talking. I get so excited. I just love to make videos, you know? So I get so excited, and I start talking. This is how fast I talk to my friends, you know what I mean? It's just like we're up in the kitchen. Y'all are my friends, you know? Here, bring your number 2 Scantron pencil for drama class. But anyway, I am talking fast. All right, my lord, I'm talking so fast. What was I saying? Dirty 30. So anyway, when I was growing up, and I looked good in my 30s too. Oh my God, you couldn't listen. You couldn't clock it. I was like, I thought I looked like 24 karat gold. Oh, I still do. You know, I still do. You got to believe it. Okay, you got to tell yourself that every day. But anyway, so when I turned 30, it didn't really hit me that bad. So when I was growing up, there was this show called 30-something, and it was all these couples, and they worked at this advertising firm, and they had the house, you know, with the picket fence and the 4 or 5 kids or whatever, all that kind of stuff, you know? And I used to watch that show with my mom. So when I turned 31, and that was not my life, okay, I didn't relate to that life in any kind of way whatsoever, and I was still going out with my friends and staying out till 3 o'clock in the morning, and I lived in an apartment, you know, and all that kind of stuff. I was like, what is wrong with my life? And so when I turned 31, I was like, okay, you're really in your 30s now. It's time to settle down. But, you know, I didn't. I didn't meet my husband until I was 36. I think I was 36. Yeah, 36 when I met my husband. So I didn't settle down. I still haven't settled. We're still, hey, listen, okay? You better pull in the reins. I'm telling you right now. Anyway, I don't want to say this because I'll spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen the RuPaul's Drag Race UK, but I just finished the 2nd season of it, and it was fantastic. All right, the one other thing I want to say is, before I get into this video, the meat and potatoes of this video, is that yesterday, I shouted out Charles Frank, who made a parody video of me, and it was so kind of him to do that, and it was so nice, and the video was so hilarious, and you know, honestly, this is where you can tell that somebody has a great sense of humor. I was watching the video, and he had kind of said on Twitter that he was going to call me out for these mystery boxes, you know, and so I was watching the video, and I was like 2 minutes in, and I was like, this guy's kind of like a lot like me. You know what I mean? I was like, this is how dumb I am. I'm like 2 or 3 minutes into it. I was like, this guy's kind of like a lot like me. And then I realized he was parodying me, right? He was making a parody of me. So yesterday, so many people said, you didn't link Charles's video. Instead of going back and linking it yesterday, I'm going to link it today. And please go follow him. He is a small creator, and he has been so kind to me and so nice. And it just would make his day if you went over and checked out his video. Plus, he did a hilarious parody of me. I think he should actually do a parody of a lot of YouTubers, not just drama channels, but all kinds of people, you know, out there. I think that would be absolutely hilarious to, you know, pick somebody and do a parody of them. I think we're kind of scared of doing that sometimes, you know, today, because there's a fine line between parody and making fun of somebody. But if you do it in good humor, I think there's a, you know, it's paying homage to somebody and doing it in a way that's respectful. You know what I mean? And he did that, and it was hilarious. And I thought the whole thing, he was like, at the end of the video, I could tell he was nervous because he was like, you guys, I love Peter. I'm just doing this because I, you know, whatever, to be funny, please, you know. And I was like, oh, I hope nobody comes for him because I thought that this was hilarious. So I will link Charles' video below. Please go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. He's a really nice guy. All right. Yes, this is the James Charles video yet again. And I kind of like really thought about what I wanted to say in this video the last 24 hours. And a lot of things have happened. So the first thing that happened was that apparently, hold on a second. Hi. How you doing? Hi, how you doing? Apparently, Morphe has dropped James Charles' code, okay? So you can no longer use code James at Morphe anymore. Now, I first saw this because Dustin Daly, of his channel, Dustin Daly, and Nick Snyder from The Viewer's Voice, they were posting about it on Twitter. So I saw it there first, so thank you, Dustin, thank you, Nick. I think Nick actually went in to Morphe and tried to use the code, and he put it up. So I saw that, so thank you guys first for doing the work, because I saw that. I actually went in today, let me pull up my receipts with Nick, because I wanted to see for me, you know, if it was going to work, or if maybe it was just a glitch that they had in the last 20, that word, the glitch, you know. Let's just see if it's a glitch that they had in the last 24 hours or whatever. So I went in, and I first, where is it at? My receipts, where's my receipts? I first went in and I tried to buy, you see, the James Charles, oh, no, this is what I did first, hold on. I was like, why, where's my receipt? The first thing I did is I went underneath James' video, his most recent video, minus, not the apology video, or whatever that was, whatever you want to call that POS, okay? That I tried to take accountability, but it didn't really work, and so I'm just going to hide out until people forget what I did. That video, okay? I went underneath his most recent video after that, and I went underneath here to coupon codes. Here, I'll put it up for you. If you're as old as me, do you remember we used to call them coupons, not coupons? When did they change that? I liked coupon better, actually. But anyway, so, I digress. So, here, I'll put it up here for you. The coupon codes, use code James for money off your order. Morphe, Lily Lashes, Laura's Boutique. And then you can see right here that he has a code with Morphe, okay? So then I went in, like they had done, and I put in the code James, and you can see right here, I was trying to purchase, I mean, I wasn't really, okay? Who'd want that junk for $39? Anyway, you could probably get it at the bargain bin at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, or your better Goodwill these days, okay? Because every single day, people are constantly sending me Jeffree Star tracksuits, okay? Shane Dawson hoodies, Shane Dawson backpacks, Jeffree Star makeup that you can find at TJ Maxx and whatever. Back in the day, that would have been big drama, and maybe I'll make that video if you guys want to hear about it in a couple days, because I've literally had so many people send me receipts. It would actually be quite a bit of work for me to go through and look up all the DMs where people have sent me that Shane Dawson, James Charles, Jeffree Star, their stuff is being, I mean, you can find it everywhere. Thrift stores, Goodwill, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, all these places, right? That they all made fun of back in the day and said that they didn't ever want their stuff to be there and made fun of other people, but now it's there, you know? By the way, there is a thread over, and I don't know if this is true, allegedly, okay? But there is a thread over on the Beauty Guru Reddit that when an Ulta employee, she came back after some break or a weekend or something, and their KVD lipsticks turned green. Allegedly. I don't know if there's truth to that. Now, I was going to make that video, but then I remembered it's not Kat Von D anymore. It's KVD Vegan Beauty. And I'm pretty sure that the lipsticks probably turned green because they're plant-based and they're vegan. They're probably celery tasting or something. You know what I mean? So that's probably why they're green. But anyway, so you can go get all your finer stuff over there. But I put in my code James, and it says underneath here, hold on a second, I'm putting a screenshot up for you here somewhere. Enter a valid discount code or gift card. So code James does not work there anymore, okay? Interestingly enough. Now, I didn't go to the other places and look. I don't know why, but I should have done that, okay? Because I had already done so much investigative work of the world. I'd already been playing detective last night, okay? I was Nancy Drew in it up here while I was watching. I was sitting right here, okay, eating me some snacks, okay? I love some snacks. Do you like some snacks? So anyway, my mother-in-law, she just got back into town, and I picked her up at the airport last night, and she brought me some Toblerone because she must think I need it. You know what I mean? But anyway, so she brought me a big bar of Toblerone. She's like, you like Toblerone, don't you? I said, I mean, I've never met a Toblerone. I said, no to, you know what I mean? So I sit here eating me some Toblerone and potato salad. You don't, okay? Don't even try to figure it out. It don't make no sense, but that's what I like to eat. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting here eating me some Toblerone and potato salad, and it made me a couple cheese sandwiches too. I mean, if we want to be real honest, I also had a plate of sour cream and cheese, queso dip, and salsa. I had a whole buffet sitting right here while I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race UK, okay? Why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? So anyway, I was just doing some investigations of the world. If you relate to that, okay, put it in the comment section below. I love a good homemade buffet, don't you? I can't cook, but I can make a buffet all day long. So anyway, my friend and I back in the day, we were going to start a new restaurant line, and we were going to call it Buffet. B-O-O-F-A-Y. Oh, we should have done it. That, and we were going to start a restaurant. If you're from the Midwest, I don't know if they have them everywhere in the United States, but if you're from the Midwest, you'll know what I'm talking about. We were going to start a restaurant called State Fair, and buffet was going to have like a little bit of Burger King, a little bit of McDonald's, a little bit of Taco Bell, so you could basically get all the fast food you wanted. Because we used to say, we thought it was so dumb that like we would go to one place and get something and then go somewhere else to get the fries and somewhere else to get the nacho dip, to dip your fries in the nacho dip, but then the Frosty to also dip your fries in. Do you know what I'm talking about from Wendy's? Okay. But then we were going to start a restaurant. It was going to be called State. You guys are like, what is going on here? It's story time. Don't you like story time? Oh my God, I had so much fun. When I was in 4th grade, we had story time. And my teacher read us Help I'm a Prisoner in the Library by F. Clifford. It's still one of my favorite books to this day, okay? About these 2 sisters that get locked in this library. And their mom is having a baby in the hospital. And it takes place in Indianapolis. But anyway. So we were going to start this restaurant. And the restaurant was going to be called State Fair. And we were going to have elephant ears and corn dogs and everything like that. Because you ever been to a state fair, you know, where you have deep fried everything, okay? Deep fried pork rinds and whatever, I'm sure they do, whatever you want, they have there, you know, deep fried, I was going to say something, maybe I better not say that one, okay? But anyway, what was I saying? I digress. Oh, anyway, so I was doing the detective work while I was sitting here with my buffet, you know, and I started going through here because yesterday I was talking about influencers that were not following, or that were still following James Charles and that were okay with it. And I was like, you know, I want to go in here and see really who is following him. We're going to talk about the Morphe thing in a second because I have a video, you guys, of them literally deleting comments that I thought was super interesting. Okay, I caught them deleting comments while I was looking at the comments on Morphe. What? And they were like, no, we're not deleting comments. Who? So I went in here, you guys, and I want to go through here and read to you. Oh my God, I have so many Instagram or influencers that still follow James Charles. Okay, so here we start. Okay, so the first one is Got Mick, okay, from RuPaul's Drag Race, who could possibly win this upcoming Friday, still following James Charles. Let's see who else. Raw Beauty Christie, which I thought I was kind of disappointed in that, to be honest with you, and that was interesting to me. It's my husband calling. I paused it for a second. Loey Lane, Loey Bug is still following James Charles, which I thought was interesting. Jaclyn Hill, Gigi Gorgeous, and a lot of these people are people. Loey and Raw Beauty Christie are 2 people that I absolutely adore and absolutely love. But I'm going to be completely objective. So the people that I went in there and I saw are the people that it's interesting to me. Adam Ray OK, who you know does the TikTok character. Brutman Rock still follows him. Nikita Dragon, of course, why wouldn't she? I'm going to tell you the 2 that didn't in just a second. Dixie D'Amelio, Manny MUA, Laura Lee, Louis Castro, Anastasia Beverly Hills still follows him. Morphe still follows him. And there were so many more, okay, that still follow him. And I thought it was so interesting. Now, 2 people do not follow James Charles, and I don't know when they unfollowed him or what happened, but number 1, JoJo Siwa does not follow James Charles, which I thought was very interesting. And the second one was even more interesting to me. And maybe they never followed each other, I don't know. But if they didn't, it's very telling to me, okay? And that was that Nima Tang does not follow James Charles. And if you watched Instant Influencer, Nima Tang was one of the guests that was on the show when they paired up with the contestants that were on the show. Now, it's crazy to me that a show that James Charles supposedly developed himself, which I'm now wondering, since YouTube has taken James Charles off of Instant Influencer, okay, if it was never James Charles' idea to begin with, if it was always YouTube's idea that they presented to him to run on his channel. So that's interesting to me. Who is texting me? Oh, my husband. Now he's like, I'm on my way home, babe. I'm like, okay, I'm filming a video, babe. I should call him and make him be on the phone. He would love that. He would think that's hilarious. But I think it's interesting, you know? So at that time, did YouTube pick who the people were going to be that were on the show? And it was, I think, Nikita Dragon, Louis Castro, Brutman Rock, and Nima Tang. And she's the one that he doesn't follow her either. So what's that about? Because I have to say, she's probably, I would say in the top, like, 1%, if not even less that, of the most non-problematic beauty influencers out there, you know? So does she just never sign on to this whole James Charles fandom kind of deal kind of thing? Or, you know, whatever. The other thing that was interesting to me is that James Charles, if you go and look in his Instagram, because I literally looked at everybody he follows, he really only follows, like, I would say, if I had to make a guesstimate about it, I would say 20% of the people that he follows are in the makeup industry. Everybody else is just major celebrities. So it's like, you're in the makeup industry, you love make, and I went and looked at like Manny and some other people, and that's not the case. They follow a lot of like smaller creators, smaller influencers. They follow Laura Lee, Raw Beauty Christie, all these people. They follow a lot of people in the makeup industry. James Charles doesn't. And so I'm like, did you really ever care about makeup to begin with? Or did you just use that magical ring light to boost you to stardom and you could really care less about makeup? And this is just, you know, this is the stardom that you wanted all along. It was interesting to me, like when I went through his following list, there literally was hardly, I mean, there was probably 10 people that did not have a blue check mark next to their name that were verified. It was very, very interesting to me. So that was surprising and sad, okay? That, like I said in my video yesterday, and if you guys are like, why is it a big deal? Well, James Charles has come out, supposedly, and taken some accountability on Twitter and some accountability on YouTube, saying that the allegations are true, right? And these influencers have no problem with it, apparently. They're still like, okay. And if you watched my video yesterday, I said in there, it was a question I had to ask myself. Like, why was, because I was still following him as of, 2 days ago. Why am I continuing to follow him? I can find the drama when it happened. People will talk about it. If more stuff comes out, or whatever you want to call it, not drama, but news. If more stuff comes out, it's going to be all over Twitter. I'm going to find out about it anyway, right? So then why are these people needing to continue to follow James Charles? Like, do you think that at some point that he's just going to be like back to who he was again and this is going to all be forgotten? I mean, I don't know. Like, what do we think is going to be the next thing that happens with this? James Charles is just going to take 6 months off of YouTube and come back and say that he realized that he has solved his desperation. I mean, he said in the video that his cause for this is desperation, And I'm like, okay. So are you going to come back 6 months from now and say, well, I'm not as desperate as I used to be, so I don't need to do, I mean, what is the need to continue to follow him? I don't know. And yes, this is very similar to the video that I made yesterday. But when I went in yesterday and saw the amount of influencers, the other person, okay, so there was one more person in here. Daniel Prada was the other person, that Joey Graceffa's ex. Daniel Prada is somebody that has called out Shane Dawson and called out other problematic people on, in YouTube and things like that. And I'm like, that's interesting to me because he's one person that I think always kind of keeps it very, very real. Like I've talked about how his an assumptions video, that he came out and he answered the assumptions. He answered questions that were given to him. And I was kind of surprised by that. I mean, now he has been, James Charles, was aligned with all of those people and the show and all that kind of, I can't remember what the show was called now. But, maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe they're still friendly, but I don't know. That was interesting to me that there were several people in there that Christy and, Loey and some other people that I respect. And I was like, but this is interesting to me that you don't have a problem with this. I don't know. Daniel's somebody that I've respected. And it's not my place to tell them who to follow or not follow on Instagram or other forms of social media. But I guess you guys have problems with, because these are people that have vocally also had problems with other people. So you have problems with some people, but not others. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, okay? So why are we making excuses for some people and not for others? And this is something I've seen on YouTube since it started, And I said yesterday, I'm going to start having a problem supporting some of these influencers that I have really thought have made changes. I think they're really positive to the community. If they're going to continue to support problematic people, and it's not just James Charles for me. There's a lot of problematic creators out there. I think Nikita Dragon is incredibly problematic, And it's like, if we continue to see people, it's like they say, birds of a feather. I don't know personally that I can continue to support and buy products from people or watch their videos or whatever, say that they're changed people if they continue to support problematic people. And that's just me. That's just me. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about was that I had seen, and this is a hard video for me to make and say that in, because these are people that I really, really like, Christy, you guys know I love. Loey, I love. Daniel Prada, I really love watching his stuff, okay? So those are 3 people that it's hard for me to sit there and say something about because I really like them. But I do think it's an important question to be asking, The next thing I wanted to say was I went back in and, Morphe posted another thing yesterday. They posted, where is it at? They posted this thing. They said, our mascara plus lash primer will bring you big volume without flaking out. So when I saw it, it was up for 9 hours. Literally every single comment underneath here is just shredding them. Truly disappointed with this company. I'm just going to read these straight down, okay? We can see the hidden comments. Stop trying to protect him. So they were hiding comments. They supposedly weren't deleting them. They were hiding them. Nope. We need to comment on people who like these posts because they don't know and are still buying. So what happened was anybody underneath there that would say, like, I'm buying this immediately or this or that, they would go underneath there. People would go underneath there and comment and say, you do realize you're supporting a company that supports, you know, a predator and things like that, okay? Someone said, I'm not, okay, wait, they put the James Charles quote about who he's attracted to. Okay, here we go again. Very disappointed. Don't think I'm buying from you again. Babe, we're not going anywhere until you issue a response. Now that you took your 3-day break from posting, maybe it's time to speak up about, okay, they go on to say all this. The ages of them, imagine suppressing comments to protect him. Morphe is probably like, if I cannot see it, then it must not be true. I love seeing brands more ignore little, okay, crimes. LOL, blocking, hiding comments, shame. So now they're getting called out for hiding comments or blocking comments. I want to show you what happened where they are hiding comments, okay? And because when I saw it, I thought, well, there's so many negative comments here. What would be the necessity to hide the comments? So this is what I saw when I went in, and this one response, or this one comment had 12 responses. Well, actually, you know what? I didn't go in and edit it and cross out the people's names, so I'm not going to go in there and show that. Oh, I wish I could, but I wish I could. But I don't want to call out anybody specifically, you know, on their name on Instagram or something like that. But what happened when you went to the comment was that the original comment, here, let me pull it up and I'll tell you, okay? The original comment had 12 responses. You can see here I recorded it late last night. And it was, can someone please explain to me what's going on? Why is everyone so upset with Morphe? Generally asking, not trying to be rude at all. It had 12 comments. When you hit the 12, it went to 9. When you hit the 9, it went to 6. When you hit the 6, it went to 3. When you hit the 3, it went to nothing. Then the one comment underneath there was, also can Google or YouTube him and find out specifics. And that's the only comment that you can see underneath there. So they're completely hiding and deleting comments underneath there, right? Well, if you're going to do that, just disable your comments because the comments are so bad at this point and you look so ridiculous. And the other thing was, you know, it's like there are other makeup companies that are still supporting James Charles. Anastasia of Beverly Hills is still supporting James Charles, you know? I don't know, like I was sitting there watching RuPaul's Drag Race and, you know, RuPaul's Drag Race, they always pull out the picture of the contestants when they're younger and, you know, RuPaul talks about this young audience and all this kind of stuff and I'm like, here you have Anastasia of Beverly Hills being one of your biggest sponsors, okay, and that supports James Charles and you have got Mick over here who is a possible winner of RuPaul's Drag Race, top 4, right? And then you're going on about all of this, like, you know, really being profound to the younger audience, the younger generation. It's just like, it's so confusing to me, you know? And this is where I think, like, I watched Aphrodite. I love Aphrodite. You know, Aphrodite is one of my dearest friends. So, hey, Aunt, how are you doing? I love you. And, you know, he's gotten this stuff right for so long. You know, if you don't believe in psychic readings, whatever. B. Lucille has gotten a lot of this right, too. But Aphrodite's reading that he did about James Charles a long time ago, or just, maybe this was the last one he did 2 weeks ago, and he talked about how, like, James is really affecting people's money at this point. I have to believe there are so many conversations that are going on behind the scenes of, like, what do we do? Like, we have fully supported this person for so long, and now it's, like, a huge issue. So it's like, what do we do? Well, I don't know, but I think it's a decision that you guys need to be sitting in some boardrooms till maybe 9 or 10 o'clock at night and really making sooner or later, because I think that this is going to be... I think this is really, really going to start affecting these companies the more people call it out. And I do think it's going to only take 2 or 3 major influencers to come out, you know, and say something about it. And when that happens, I think, like I said, I think it's going to be the domino effect where all kinds of people are calling him out. You know, I think it's just going to take a couple beauty influencers to unfollow him and say, I just can't continue to support this. And I hope it's some of the people that I really respect and I love, you know, and not just for this, but for James's, you know, lack of accountability, his excuses, his problematic behavior over years and years and years. I think that we're at a point now where it's like, if you want to get to the top and you want to be representative of a company or of change or of being a good person to your audience, that I think that you have to look like that all around. Like, who are you hanging out with, you know? Are you hanging out with Nikita Dragon who doesn't care and is just problematic and all she cares about is being a bad bee? Is that what you want your reputation to be? And are you, as the customer, going to put your money in those people's pockets or continue to watch your videos? It's a question I'm asking myself right now. I mean, it really, really is, you know? So I don't know. It's sad to me. It's sad to me when I see all this go on because one person's, choices or behaviors or life has affected all of these people. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.